reaction to the loss against Boston University?
Yeah, another tough one. Didn't think we were very good in the game. Like we did, the probably the one thing that you can't do against that team and just give them tons of free offense by just making poor decisions, turning pucks over, power play, 5-on-5. We got what we deserved.
What's going to need to change? Is it just more of the same? I mean, I feel like sometimes I come in here on Tuesday and ask the same questions when it's some of the same problems. What's going to need to happen for you guys to have a successful UConn weekend?
I mean, for us to have success at any game, I think, as a program, we have to decide we're going to make that change together, right? And the tough part with a young team and going through the ups and downs of what we've gone through is our job and my job as a coach is to find a way to motivate, keep going, and that's that part. We also the chamber's a little bit empty when it comes to we don't have, if it's 4 or 5 guys doing the same thing, we don't have 4 or 5 guys that are going to go and so it has to come from within, and and that's not saying, hey, it's not on us or it's on all of us, but we have to find that spark, and if we find the spark, we'll be fine. It doesn't mean we're going to win every night. I thought we had it against Providence 2 weeks ago. We played really, really well, lost in a heartbreaker. Is what it is. Didn't have a spark against BU, lost in overtime still. Different kind of game. I thought we melted down a little bit.
What is it now? Kind of just turning the focus and just trying to play your best hockey come tournament time. I mean, there's only a handful of weekends left here in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean that's really all we've tried to do all year, and we haven't been able to consistently get there, and it's been frustrating, but we're still sitting there, in most games, in every game against good teams, beat a lot of good teams. So it's a very different year than we've experienced, especially I've experienced in my 5 years here. Just with the makeup of the team and all these new players that come from a lot of players coming from leagues that we've never had, it's just been different, and we're still trying to figure it out. Obviously, I haven't found the right answers.
Is there something maybe something you can point to that needs to change for you guys to finally get over that hump, or is it just a handful of things that
It's not one thing. Obviously, we can be better in power play, penalty kill, goaltending, whatever. It's there's you work on all that stuff, but the change is going to come from to a man, all of us deciding we're going to make that change, and that's, hey, I got to, it's really, can I block that? Am I going to block that extra shot? Am I going to take the puck to the far post? You have to blink that one out. Puck to the far post rather than then go short, try to go short side shelf and miss the net, and it goes out of the zone. Those are the little things and that is more of a willingness and a care factor. Yep. And that's we have some guys that'll do it every single time, and that's really what we've been trying to instill in some of these young guys, and not just the young guys, even some of the sophomores and juniors, where it's, hey guys, we don't get to decide when we want to do things right. It has to be all the time, and that one time you don't do it right, that could be the game.
Yep. Coach, thanks so much.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Good to see you.
See you, Jeff.
Hey, Coach. Aside from the Garden, UConn really had our number last year. What do you remember about those games that made them really difficult to play against? And is it almost that they tend to play a pretty similar brand of hockey to you guys and play really well?
Yeah, they're just a good team. They're deep. They're I think they got a really strong veteran core, obviously. So they don't beat themselves, and that's I think they were like that last year, especially the second half when they went on that hot streak, and I think they're probably this will be our first time seeing them this year, but watching, I think it's it's very similar, if not even better.
Yeah, I mean, you just talked about maybe a lack of a lot of turnover in your roster, but from a coach's perspective, especially in today's world, how important is it to have that roster consistency, not just on ice, but in building a culture like you've talked about? And do you think it almost becomes a rarity in the future now, just with how much movement can happen in the offseason, how much kind of instability there is?
Yeah, I mean, It's definitely different than it was 5-10 years ago, and this year it's really sped up because you have obviously a lot of, for NIL money and just money pouring into the game. Some in some places more than others, and then you have a CHL players. So it's completely changed everything. I don't know. I don't think how we try to do things or what we want to do it really will change, but our decision making and conversations around who comes and who's that ends up being different and even more important. And I'd be lying if I told you I had the answers to what that should look like. I felt like you do things a certain way for 15-20 years, and then it's a lot of the world changes and you're trying to figure out how to operate in that world. So we're learning every day.
Third top line of Richard, Tattle, and Mulvaney, obviously really good once again. What makes them so effective that you've seen, and what kind of keys are you stressing just to try to slow them and just really their entire offense down?
Yeah, they're very skilled. They play really hard, and they're experienced. So they're. I mean, if you play on the right side of them and you're heavy and hard on them, they're still going to make plays, and you're not gonna completely shut down a line like that, or and they obviously have some other really good players too. So it's not like that's the only line you're worried about. You just have to play hard and heavy on them and try to possess the puck a little bit in their zone and force them to defend.
Last one from me, but Tyler Muzelik and their whole defense has been really excellent this season. What's it going to take to generate enough offense against them? Because I'm assuming it won't be as run and gun and open as it was last weekend, and more similar to kind of a Providence style.
Yeah, you have to win some battles, and their D zone is tough to penetrate. So you got to win some one-on-one battles down low, and our forwards are going to have to chip the puck in, forecheck, get it back, and try to get it out of the corners. And that's it's easy. It's easier said than done. That's kind of the strength of their team is how well they defend and they protect their net really well. So it's going to take just a little bit extra effort from our forwards to get in there and get physical and win some battles.